Kia team, welcome to DayZ, welcome to Sakhal, welcome to the server, welcome to the map. Right, there's a few things we're going to be doing on the White Cloud server, and there's a few things we're going to be looking at. But before we look at any of those things, one of the things we're going to need to have a look at is the in-game map. This is not the I Survive map. This is the in-game map because I'm going to be referring to things using the in-game map, not the I Survive map. Because if you know from watching my channel that I prefer to use only the tools that are available in game. So we're going to be referring to this over our little journey over the next ensuing few weeks. and I thought, well, maybe you guys haven't seen the map before because it's a new map. So let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at the in-game map. And we're going to start at high level, and then we'll go in and we'll look at some details and things that I want to show you, just so that you know when we're going around and we're looking at the map, what the situation is. So we're starting here at the top, and obviously that's the volcano right in the middle, which is, has the name that it has. And you can obviously see from those contours that it's quite steep up to the top. I also know from watching some people that it's toxic at the top, but there are some things around it. And we have the coasts, and the islands around it. We'll look at the coast first. So we obviously have the coast road, which runs all the way around the top, runs all the way down the side. This is as far to the east as we go. So we have the East Coast Road. There are some things in the interior. There's quite a lot of roads leading into the interior. It's easy to perhaps think that the interior is quite sparse. It doesn't look to be quite sparse, to be honest. Just very cold. And then as you come down, you have the edge of the main island, and you scooch your way across. Sorry about the stuttering. My controllers have some drift. I have a new controller, but it's uncharged. It's not sorted yet, so I have a little bit of drift, which is a little bit annoying. And we come down here, and this is the airfield. This strip here denotes an airfield. In case you didn't know that there was an airfield, there is an airfield. And then we come around here to this side. This is the largest city over here. You can obviously see that this is quite a large city, and a few bits and pieces that stick out, various peninsula and isthmus, and various other bits and pieces. We walked out here thinking it was the land bridge. It isn't. There's ice floes out there if you want to tackle it, but they don't show up on the map. And then the coast road carries on all the way around and all the way back up to the top. Probably one of the key features a lot of people are talking about is this thing here, which looks a little bit like Italy, and you have this Sicily bit on the bottom. You have the land bridge here. It's not shown as a road, but it is actually a road. I've run across it. So it is a road. And then you have various bits and pieces, and this comes through here. It's actually it's a fair amount bigger than it looks, to be honest. So that is quite a walk down here to the end, and there's two here. There's a significant sized port over there, and there's a significant sized port down here. They don't have names on the map because military stuff tends to not have names on this map, and it won't point out helpful details to you. Around the periphery we have these islands, which don't really appear to have a lot on them. There's houses, there's some houses there, there's some house features. We'll talk about some of those features. We have another little island down here, little couple of islands that looks to have even a couple of little houses on it. We have some small islands down here. Boat wrecks, lighthouse. Not a lot. Another little island. Crete, perhaps. Not a lot on that. Pardon the dog. Some houses. There. Up the east side, we have houses at the top. Sorry, have islands at the top. Not necessarily houses. A couple of hills on this one, obviously. And we have an island over here, lighthouse, etc. Lot of flows, I think, ice flows out here. Rocks, various other bits and pieces. This is the island of Cynthia, obviously. And Yutuk. And a tiny little one at the top, Toika, which is very nice for it. So, so we have this map, and it has things on it, and it has features on it, and some of the features we're going to be referring to. So I wanted to have a look at some of those very key features, and I'll point them out, hopefully, if this controller doesn't completely drive me mad. So this is the port town of Severomorsk. We've been up to Severomorsk, and Severomorsk has lots of things in it, lots of little houses. All the grey blobs are buildings, houses, various other bits and pieces. That kind of obvious. The major orange roads are major roads, which tend to be paved. The yellow roads tend to be dirt roads, or roads in less good condition. Mostly dirt on this map, to be fair. You can see that there are indications for boat wrecks that are there. Anything with a knife and a fork is euphemistically what we might call the pub restaurant, which is the one with the tables in it and the little bar. You have the basket of goods, which is some kind of a shopping. I guess the dairy, and also, what would you call it? Well, I guess you call it the supermarket, I suppose. You have the red hat. There's the fire station, great place to find clothes. You have the blue cross, which is, of course, medical. You have the blue policeman's hat, which is, of course, police. You have the cross, which is, of course, a church. And you have the petrol pump, which is, of course, water. No, of course not. It's the petrol station, obviously. If you had a car and you need petrol, that's where you're going to go. That's probably most of the main features that you will get in a place. There is another feature that you're going to want to get, and that's water. It's probably easier seen on this one next outside Orlovo. This feature with the water drop and the two ripples is obviously a spring. Right? So they're probably the main salient features that we're really going to need to know and really going to want to talk about. As you get inland, there are other features. These things are obviously masts of some description. Telegraph masts or mobile phone masts, various other bits and pieces. Anything with the triangle denotes a peak. Don't think there's anything else. We've got another different kind of church. I think this church is a church with a graveyard in Severomorsk, and this church is just a church. We have the little feature there, which is new to me. Roadside shrine, perhaps. We have a couple of other features in relation to chimneys, and the little circle with the hat is a military watchtower. So that would usually denote to you that that's military in nature, that place. Military industrial complex, perhaps. You got another peak with a mast on it. We're heading down to the coast. We got more masts, more chimneys, more various other bits and pieces. Obviously, when we get around to here, you'll find there's things like the little blue bus. That's a bus stop. Just in case you are looking for a bus. I don't think there are any buses. Just by the by. But there are bus stops if you're looking for them. More houses, various other houses, more bus stops. Telegraph lines are the black bendy lines. Telegraph lines. Power lines, really, sorry, power lines is what they are. And obviously, when we get over towards the airstrip, like I have said, you have the actual airstrip itself, and then you obviously have a fence that runs around the airport, because of course you're going to want a fence around things like an airport. And probably say the same when you get over to the military, that you're going to find that in the military areas you're going to see lots of things like this, which are fences This is a large military area. The solid grey lines are actual walls, and the twin fence that you're normally used to seeing, say like around Tizzy, I would say, is the twin wire fence that you have. You can see that there are breaks in the fence. I can't guarantee that that correlates to an actual break on the map, but that's exactly what that is. And I think actually that's about it. I don't think there's anything else new that I haven't seen on this map. If I do run across anything else that is new on this map, um, I will let you know, or we will talk about it at the time. I suppose maybe, is it over here? You have, I think the dark lines are, I think they might be rail loading tracks. I'm not sure for the cranes. That's new. I need to check in on that one. We'll have a look at that when we go up to this place. This is Mastrovo. This is not Mastrovo. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's the map. That's the map, everybody. It's a very handy resource for those of us who don't use iSurvive. I'll be referring to it. So when I'm talking about the various places that we are going through, I'll be whipping out the map and we'll be talking through some things. So I thought it would be very important to get some of the terminology correct and some of the symbols correct so that we knew what we were talking about when we talked about Vostok and said, and here's water and here's this and there's a wreck there and, you know, all of these kinds of various bits and pieces. And probably one of the things that you need to know really in terms of the rest of the map is this place here and this place over here. Everything around the coast to those two is where the spawn areas are somewhere. So you spawn on this bit. You do not spawn on this bit. Okay? So just so we're clear, spawn from here, which is about, as I've said, 11 o'clock, all the way down to about 4 o'clock, and from 4 o'clock all the way around is a spawn-free place. So if you spawn in, you're going to spawn in up here. Watch the sun. If the sun is setting and you can see it setting in the sea, you're up at the top. If the sun is rising and you can see it rising over the sea, you're down here somewhere. Okay? There you go. Well, that should be it. That should be pretty simple. That's the map. That is the map of Sakhal. We're going to be using it. I hope you find one. They're very, very handy. Do click the like button. Do subscribe to the channel. Do click the bell notification because there will be an awful lot more videos with explanations and various things coming out soon. And I will see you all real soon. Ta-ta for now. PlayStation